Hello everyone, welcome to Born to Reborn. Recently, I have started uploading Gunfire Reborn videos, and some of my Steam friends who see me online all the time have also enjoyed the Gunfire Reborn community. Although I haven't teamed up with them, I often received various questions about the game mechanics. Over time, I found it necessary to make a dedicated video to explain the game mechanics in Gunfire Reborn to help beginners avoid confusion during gameplay. Of course, if you're a veteran player, you might still find this useful to see if you're familiar with all the game mechanics. In the logbook, we can get detailed information about each weapon. Damage refers to the total damage caused by a single shot, and weapon damage bonuses are calculated based on this damage. What needs to be noted is that the damage of the shotgun in the logbook seems relatively low, which is because the logbook only calculates the damage of one projectile, while the actual game displays the damage after all projectiles hit. The larger the projectile's value, the larger the effective explosion range of weapons shot, and the explosions will be blocked by the walls. Crit X is the multiple of damage bonus when the critical hit is triggered. Many games have critical hits, but the critical hits mechanism of Gunfire Reborn is quite special. We'll skip this for now and explain it in detail later. ROF, magazine, and reload time don't need much explanation. Elemental effect chance is the probability of each bullet triggering an elemental effect. All weapons have this attribute. Although the weapon itself doesn't cause elemental damage, it can still convert weapon damage into elemental damage through inscriptions. At this time, the elemental effects will be triggered. In the game, we also see the accuracy and stability of firearms. Accuracy affects the dispersion and deviation of bullets. Simply put, the higher the accuracy, the easier it is for bullet to hit the bullseye. Stability affects the recoil of the firearms. The higher the stability, the smaller the recoil. In addition, every weapon in the game has different characteristics. Paired with the effects of exclusive inscriptions, many weapons can become powerful killing tools. How to pair them requires you to spend some time understanding. Of course, you can also watch my guide videos directly. You may sometimes wonder why the Gemini of the weapon doesn't seem to take effects. The answer to the question is actually in the word Gemini. Only when the Gemini inscriptions of the main and the secondary weapons are the same, the inscription's effects will be triggered. Both are indispensable. Here are the 5 types of Gemini inscriptions in the game. You can pause and take a look. Unlike other games, critical hits in Gunfire Reborn always triggers when the attack hits enemy's weak point. It doesn't rely on probability like in most games. The weak points of different enemies will be different, but mainly concentrated on the head. The critical hits multiplier depends on the value of the weapon in hand. When the critical hit is triggered, the damage number is displayed in yellow. As you can see, the probability of triggering critical hits is directly linked to your aim during shooting, which is good news for hardcore shooters. For shooting novices, you can also increase your critical hit chance through counterbalance, so even if you don't hit monster's weak point, you still have certain probability of triggering critical hits. Lucky Shot is more like a critical hit in the traditional sense, with a certain chance of triggering a damage bonus, but the damage multiplier calculation is a bit special. The base trigger chance for Lucky Shot is 0 and can be increased within the game through various components, such as skill trick, and with no upper limits. As the chance of Lucky Shot increases, the damage numbers will change to yellow, purple, and red respectively. When the chance of Lucky Shot exceeds 300%, every additional 100% trigger chance gives 1 times the damage bonus, but the damage display color remains red. The elemental effect in Gunfire Reborn is quite interesting and complex. The game has 3 different elements, namely fire, corrosion, and lightning, which can cause different suppression effects on enemies. When suppression occurs, there is 1.5 times damage bonus, and when suppression doesn't occur, the damage becomes 0.75 times. Elemental effects are caused by inflicting elemental damage. Corrosion can inflict decay, fire can inflict burning, and lightning can inflict shock. It's worth noting that the trigger chances of the 3 elemental effects are independent of each other, and their duration and stacking refresh are also calculated independently. Finally, let's look at the most complex fusion effects. If an elemental effect is inflicted while on the different one, a fusion effect is triggered. The 3 elemental effects can form 3 fusion effects. You can pause to take a detailed look. Okay, that's all for this video. I believe that after understanding these game mechanics, you can quickly find a set of gameplay that suits you. I will continue to share various tips in Gunfire Reborn in the future, so stay tuned. See you next time.